for decades or hundreds of years kept us out. Rather than us trying to knock on their doors and get into those rooms, let's just make our own damn rooms. Like, that's just what I think is the way to go.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events in Hampton Roads and beyond.
Hey, would you like to be a guest on Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham? The link is in the show notes.
And now, here's your host, Blair Durham.
Greetings.
Welcome to this 122nd edition of Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham. Save the date for HR RealCon 2021. It is our 5th annual real estate readiness event. Why do we focus on real estate? It's an incredible way to build that wealth portfolio. This year, our event is in partnership with VHCDC. There are pieces on first-time home ownership, commercial real estate, flipping properties, wholesaling properties. Again, a free event. You can register blackbrand.biz. And now let's get into the heart of the content for today. I am so excited that joining us first is Mr. Davon Christopher Johnson. He's leveraged his marketing knowledge and communications expertise to build his brand from a single publication, Bleu Magazine, the aspirational lifestyle publication for multicultural men, to a full-scale multimedia company serving diverse audiences around the world. After 7 years working in-house entertainment, Johnson launched Bleu Magazine in 2006 to develop a legacy in publishing. With the experience, skills, and connections he gained in his former roles, he's crafting a media empire with a global reach and a mandate of inclusivity as well as diversity. He's an advocate for the importance of print media, especially in communities of color. Blue Life Media Group's platforms now include Bleu Magazine, its sister digital platform, Bombshell by Blue.com, Blue TV, a podcast network, a geo-targeting mobile ad platform, and an agency that represents digital influencers. Wow, Davon holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from Seton Hall University and a master's from Harvard University. There are so many cool things here. I'm going to allow him to share some of them. Welcome to the show, Davon. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for having me. Sorry, my voice is a little raspy. I'm not trying to be smooth. This is just the voice I have today.
Not trying to be smooth? Come on, man. Wow. Look, I stopped short of sharing that your career began at Def Jam Records, right?
Yeah, I was lucky. Yeah, I mean, I never even had an intern. I mean, I think I graduated on a Thursday, and I think that Monday was my first day on the job at Def Jam in the marketing department. And I was there, at the time of the golden era of hip hop. I mean, it was, Method Man, Redman, LL Cool J, through Violator, Jay-Z, obviously, DMX. We just launched Def Soul, so we had Kelly Price and Drew Hill, and it was a great time and one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. Besides, obviously, launching my own company, having my own brand, but that experience laid the groundwork for the type of company I wanted to build and the kind of impact I wanted to have over time through the work that I did.
Yeah, very, very cool, man. When I saw Mariah Carey on here and Trey Songz, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, so I saw Atlantic Records when I was over at Atlantic. So yeah, I mean, I worked at Def Jam, Universal Records, and also Atlantic Records. I helped launch a label called Asylum Records, which at the time focused on like Houston, so like Mike Jones, Paul Wall, Webby, Boosie, and then Rap A Lot also was one of the partners there. But so I had about 7 to 8 years experience in music marketing, which was fun and it's great, and I loved it. And Black culture, Black music especially moves the world, and to see that impact on the corporate side made it even greater to see it on the other side from consumers.
Yeah, interesting too. Just with Grammys having just taken place, I didn't even realize they'd happened. I was talking with my daughter this morning, and we were online looking at some of the folks, and I was just thinking, wow, music has changed a lot.
It changed a lot, and I think the Grammys might have had their lowest ratings ever. That could be due to the pandemic. It could be due to the cultural irrelevancy of those type of awards. And I think you've seen a lot of artists speak out, especially Diddy, speaking out about the respect of Black culture in these institutions that have normally not included Black people or made it seem like it was our privilege to be awarded for our talent that is used to make billions of dollars, which is why I think, not just because I'm in Black media, but Black-owned media is so important right now, is that we need to harness, cultivate, and tell our own stories and own that narrative and also celebrate each other the same way these institutions that have for decades or hundreds of years kept us out. Rather than us trying to knock on their doors and get into those rooms, let's just make our own damn rooms. Like, that's just what I think is the way to go.
Yeah, it's an ongoing debate for sure, right? Do we want to be at their table? Do we want to create our own table?
Yeah.
But I totally get the vantage point. In fact, it's a lot of the reason why we founded Black Brand at Black Wall Street today. It's really creating spaces like these are just very, 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 very important. So talk about Bleu Magazine a bit. What is it that you launched a whole, well, you started with the magazine. You and I kind of have that in common. I'm just curious to know, what was your thought there and what's the direction and vision?
Yeah, to be honest, when working in entertainment, it was great to be part of a lot of those campaigns and be around those artists, especially the rap artists. However, I knew that, Black men in particular are not a monolith. We're not all the same. For instance, I worked at a label, but I wasn't a rapper.
Imagine that.
Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
So I think that the messages that have been put out weren't consistent with the messages that I heard growing up, or even that my friends had heard. Most of my friends didn't aspire to go to the NBA. Or to be a rapper. We aspire to go to Wall Street or work at our parents' family's company or et cetera. And I wanted to tell that story more. So yes, we are athletes and we're amazing. We're rappers and we're amazing. We're also doctors, lawyers, assistants, teachers.
All the things.
We're all the things, right? We're both in. And I wanted to create a media platform specifically around the Black male experience that showcased that diversity, right? That didn't make every young Black boy think that he had to be a rapper or an athlete. And if he wasn't good at one of those two things, then he couldn't be something, right? So that's why I started the magazine itself. I called it Bleu, and this is before all the political correctness of 2020s and further. But back then, boys were blue, girls were pink. And if you didn't know what the baby was going to be, you do yellow, right? Because you didn't have
so right? Yeah.
That's how it was, right? So I created Bleu as an all-inclusive. So all boys are blue, right? All boys are blue when they're born, or et cetera. So you can be a rapper, or you can be a doctor, you can be an athlete. We're all the same. And then I flipped it and made it French sounding. So it's BLEU, so it's Bleu, which just made it attractive. And starting a company, you got to trick folks a little bit.
Gotta do something. Yeah,
I had a trick of to think that we were this European magazine coming to the States to celebrate Black culture. And it obviously has worked out because we're still here. So I'm glad I made that choice. And then from doing Bleu, focus on the Black male audience, we saw a lot of females were interested in that content. Whether it's for their spouse or their brother or their friend or their son or et cetera. And we spun off, other products. And one of those is Bombshell by Bleu, which is female focused. And again, taking that word bombshell that has a certain thing that comes to mind, you're thinking like a video vixen type of thing. But ours is, our motto is women who win wars. And these are moms. These are entrepreneurs. These are activists, doctors, et cetera. So again, taking a word and flipping it, again, letting Black women and Black men in the world know that they're more than just, someone to dance in the video, which we can do that really well. So I don't want to ever think that my brand is saying that we can't be those things. I'm just also showing the other side of it.
Something you wrote earlier is so important. You said that if we're not one of those two things, then we may think that we can't become anything. And a lot of times we're receiving those messages, at home, receiving those messages in so-called safe spaces, right? So when you're talking about creating a new narrative, it's like, how do I get this in the hands of the folks that need this the most,
Exactly.
Just what's kind of been your distribution strategy when you're looking at reaching such a vulnerable population, right? Getting to our kids.
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting. And it's not a secret sauce, but it was a secret sauce at the time. We began distribution at barbershops, right? So as an independent Black-owned print publication, I was knocking on doors to get distribution and no one was interested in this Black narrative, right? And it just hit me one day, like, I'm in a barbershop every week, getting my hair cut. My appointment's never the time my barber says. You know, like I'm be here at 1, I'm in a chair at 4 because he promised 10 other people, you know, he's got them too, right? So it's this captive moment that Black men from 5 years old to 85 years old, right? It's multi-generational. It's from the barbershop to the boardroom. These are all people debating current events, politics, relationships, medical questions, all these things in that environment. So we made the barbershop a distribution channel and created value of that audience. And we met them right there, and they're spending time with this hard copy. They're sitting in a chair, they're reading it, and they're debating, et cetera. Obviously, eventually we got distribution. We're about 400 Barnes & Nobles across the country and about 100 newsstands in Europe. But prior to that, we proved ourselves, again, not trying to be in their boardroom, but obviously creating our own distribution platform. There's movies about barbershop. You know, LeBron even has a show on HBO around the barbershop. The barbershop is the Black man's psychologist, psychiatrist, counseling office. That's where we go. To feel safe. We often ask our doctors, our barber, more intimate questions than we ask our doctors.
Yeah, so true. And the same is true for, you know, women in salon. So here's a question for you, you know, thinking about kind of where we are now. Where are Black men turning if they're not congregating in barbershops? You know, how are you creating a safe space? And is that part of the mission of Bleu?
Yeah, I mean, so, great question, and it's part of the mission to take us outside of that. So again, you know, one of our mottos is from the barbershop to the boardroom, right? Is that journey. So yes, you may get your haircut on a Saturday or Sunday, but what are you doing, you know, Monday to Friday? You know, where are you receiving messages? Are you being supported at work? Are you being supported at school? Are you being supported amongst your friends? And are we making it okay for Black men to be vulnerable and have friendships that are honest and true and transparent and able to be supportive and not competitive? And I think there's a huge, you know, movement. I have a friend, his name is Jason Rosario. He has a platform called The Lives of Men. He's doing a lot of great work and deconstructing this hyper-masculine tone that has been given to Black men through mixed messaging versus who we are. You know, we are actually, if you bring it back centuries, we're community builders, we're family people. You know, it takes a village because that's a real thing that we were. And somehow in America, that's been deconstructed. And we know about the 13th Amendment, and we know about
all of that, right?
This industrial complex, all these things, like for whatever reason, right? America has had this thing where it's like, let's break the Black man down, because this great fear of us realizing our collective greatness, it's just so powerful. You know, imagine how powerful we are as individuals, right? Look at like those who do excel in music or sports, like a Michael Jordan or a Jay-Z, right? But imagine if that was like 10-fold or 100-fold, how awesome that would be. So that's the work Bleu will continue to do to make a more inclusive society. It may not happen in my lifetime, it may not happen in yours or in the next 100 years, but that is the goal, to contribute in our small way to this more inclusive society we're trying to build.
Yeah, that was so good. I had to text my husband. We got about 2 minutes remaining. I would just love it if you would share, how can we connect to the platform? How can we support this effort and get the word out?
Yeah, of course. You know, I'm a businessman, so the first thing you can support it economically. You can subscribe to Bleu, and that's Shop Bleu Life. That's ShopBleuLife.com, and you can get a subscription that we deliver to you. You can buy individual, you know, copies from past issues. We have some swag on there. We have some T-shirts. We've done some collaboration, and then the platforms themselves are for women, and it's not really for women because we have a 50-50 viewership on both. It's Bombshell by Bleu.com, and then it's BleuMagazine.com, and those are our two brands. And obviously, you can buy merch and support with your wallet on BleuLife, ShopBleuLife.com.
shopbluelife.com.
That's BLEU. Come with blue. French.
Blue.
Parlez-vous français?
I love it. I love it. Okay. Wow, this has been great, Davon, man. I'm so excited about what you're doing.
Thank you. And just lastly, if you are a small business, Black-owned business, and you've never had a national print ad in a magazine, we are offering free ad space to Black-owned businesses in the magazine. So you can go to the websites or find us on social media at Bleu Magazine or at Bombshell by Blue, and you can submit your business to get a free ad in the magazine.
Bingo, there it is, Davon. Thank you so much thank you for Blue. Thank you for being here today, and certainly we'll connect again, I hope.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it. Loving the work that you're doing.
Hey, this is Seiko, DJ Seiko Varner, but you also know me as your favorite private money broker. So make sure you sign up for HR RealCon 2021. You definitely want to check out the workshops that I'm doing. Wholesaling and private money. Yes, make sure you register for HR RealCon today.
Again, a free event. You can register blackbrand.biz. Talk soon.
Stay locked in.
This show was brought to you by the consulting services of Positive Vibes Incorporated. We do debt restructuring, we help with credit repair, and we put money into the pockets of real estate investors. If you're a real estate investor, get in contact with us. If you need debt restructuring or credit repair, get in contact with us. 757-932-0177, 757-932-0177.
Phenomenal.
Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram, and then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said and I will continue to say that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party.
Phenomenal.
Hey, yo, when I say black, you say